everyone. I think if you look up in the top right-hand corner, there should be something that says start sharing audio and video, or a red button, if you guys want to do that.
So you'll go ahead and select my default. And up here there'll be a little number again. It says 5 or 2 or 1. So in this moderation tab. So when you click on this moderation tab, for me here in this event all by myself, I don't have anybody requesting to join. But for you in your ministry meetup, you'll then have a list of
I hear myself. You're watching my video, Marissa.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so I will walk you through what that video says in real time right now.
Okay, perfect.
So what I'm trying to, Marissa's like, oh my goodness, ministry meetups, I don't care. I was trying to get you something that would help you understand how to let people in here. So if you guys are here, I would invite you to share your audio and video. I think it would say join stage or share audio and video. So if you do that, I'll kind of show you how that looks then, Marissa.
Okay.
So as people are sharing audio and video, this session here is designed just to help you work through that SPS plan. And I hear that Marissa is like an expert. So you guys picked an awesome session to attend with Marissa.
It's been a while, but I think I know.
That's great. Okay, Marissa, if we don't have anybody who shares their audio and video, that's okay. Can you kind of walk us through kind of what we need to do? Like, what's our first step? Get us started.
Yeah, and is there any way I can share my screen?
Absolutely. Oh, rats. So I don't know what is happening here, but you are not the first person I see sharing that, Jacqueline. If you have a spinning screen, refresh your browser, and that has worked. It's happened to me today. I don't know if Ring Central is just feeling a little bit overloaded today or what. I don't usually get that, but I am finding that if you refresh, it seems to work. Okay, Marissa, you can share your screen. If you go to the bottom screen share menu, screen with the slash through it.
Okay.
And then are you sharing like a Chrome tab?
Yeah. Can you guys see all that?
Yeah, that looks great.
Okay.
Perfect. Looks
okay,
fabulous.
So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Because the first thing that we'll do is probably get you guys' Macs. And is there a reverb that you guys are hearing, or just me? Okay.
I wonder if you hear an echo from me. It might go away if I step off the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Which I'll do. I'll go check on Sabrina's room.
Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'll have you guys do is go to like a Google Maps or something and type in your own home address, and then you'll want to make sure that you get your barn and the road. And I took a picture of my parents' farm to kind of show you guys what we're looking for. So all right. Okay. What you're looking for when you are taking a picture of your map is making sure that you can see the barn, and then also that you have a picture of the road. And if you have a really long driveway, you're going to want to take 2 pictures. So you want to get a picture like this where you can see the road, the driveway, and everything, and where you're going to park your cars is also one that you want to make sure that you have. And then you can zoom in on just the barn. So when you zoom in on the barn, make sure that you're also getting any existing fence lines. So this is where the cows are kept, and then this is a fence line right here that they can get to from the barn. There's more fencing, but we'll just focus on this one for right now. But you guys can go take a picture on your Google Maps and make sure that it's kind of in that satellite view too, just so that we can have an easier time marking things up. And then if anyone wants to put like a thumbs up or just add something in the message to type, then we can move on to the next step after that. Okay. All right. So I think too, if you guys kind of have the same browser that I do, you can mark up in kind of the place where we took that picture. So you should be able to mark up that picture on the file and then do it from that way. And then I have a really great map that we use to help people to start the process. And I think doing the map is easier first because there's some things in the SPS plan that, like the perimeter buffer area or the line of separation, those become a lot more easier when you find out what is your line of separation, what's your low SAP, and kind of the map helps you to see what they are a little bit more. So then when you get to the plan, even if we don't finish it today, then you guys can still have a little bit better understanding of what they're asking in those questions. So I'll just say that if we don't get to the plans, then there's one that says what do you have that allows you to access the like perimeter buffer area. So they're looking for a chain. So in the event of an outbreak, this blue line is the perimeter buffer area, and that's surrounding the whole barn. So no vehicles or anything should come on this. If a person's going through this, then they should kind of be cognizant of what they have on, making sure that there's nothing around them that they've went to a different pig farm in, not necessarily changing into different clothes, but just making sure they're preparing to walk into a barn. So you have to have an entry point, and that entry point, then they want to know what you have there, whether you have a gate. It can be really simple as just a rope that you can move, or anything that, like, I know they have those electric fence ropes that you can take on and off, like that would be fine. You just have to label what you're going to put as the access point and have something there. So I think too, going through the map kind of helps people to understand what those questions are asking a little bit more. Let me go back here. If you guys have any questions, I can see if anyone's, feel free to stop me if I'm going too fast or anything. So are you guys all ready to kind of go through the creating the map? Okay, we will go ahead and start. So the first thing that you'll want to do is called the line of separation. So this is going to be in this red area right here, and this goes all the way around your barn. So any spot where there's an entryway or anything, it goes around the barns. If you have two barns on your property, you'll put two different lines around those barns, and unless they have a connecting point, then you shouldn't connect them. So if the barns are two separate places, then you should have your own line around one barn and then a line around the other. If they do connect, then you're going to do what you see on this screen, and you're going to have a red line that doesn't end. So it's just going around all the different barns if they're connected. All right. And then the next part is going to be, this is called the line of separation access point. So these are just a line where you enter your barn. So if you have a big garage door, you go ahead and put a little orange line on each of the doors and anywhere else that you can enter. So even if it is just like a regular walk-in door, you're going to put an orange line there just to indicate that that's where you can get to a barn from. And I think, Catherine, you're the only one on that would be making a plan. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. and I can help you. You're getting a very one-on-one experience, I think. Okay. Once you have that done, then we're gonna go to the perimeter buffer area. So this is, like I said, it doesn't have to be existing right now. The perimeter buffer area is something that you put up definitely when there's an outbreak, but just something that you can kind of think of right now. So it doesn't have to be an actual fence. You don't have to dig any holes. You can just have little poles in the ground and then have some rope going around it. You just need something physical, a physical barrier. When you mark this on your sheet, if you have barns and multiple ones or fences, you want to make sure that this line is not going through any fencing. It's not going through, so these little circles right here are indicating feed grain stacks. So you want to make sure that that line's not going through anything physical on your property that you can see. This should be something that's completely encompassing the barns. And then that's going to be in this blue line right around it. If you have two barns, then you can go ahead and put them both in this perimeter buffer area. They don't have to have two different ones unless they're very far apart. Okay, I'm just going to keep going unless you stop me. Let me know if anything gets too complicated. The next part is, like I said in the beginning when I was kind of explaining things, is the perimeter buffer area access point. So this is where you're going to enter the perimeter buffer area. We're only going to look for like one or two of these. So we're not having an access point wherever there's an access point to the barn. We're only looking for one pretty much on the front side. And then later on, then we'll talk about carcass disposal and carcass disposal paths. So if you have a carcass disposal path that's kind of on the outside of the barn, then we can put a perimeter buffer area access point on the front side, and then we can also have one on the back side so we're not dragging carcasses out in the same access point that we're walking into, just to kind of create some biosecurity measures there. Okay, if anyone wants to hop on the screen, I think you guys can refresh. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So we should have, it should look like this right now. We have the perimeter buffer area, we have the access points, we have the line of separation and the access points to each barn in those line of separations. So the next parts are just kind of adding sprinkles into where things are going on in your farm. So the first one is the parking area. So this is where we're gonna park cars. Ideally, this is gonna be outside of the line of separation. We want to make sure that no cars are going into that line of separation, especially if they're not washed or clean every single time they're going through. So just to keep things simple, we want to make sure we have the parking area outside of that, and that's going to be just a yellow rectangle that you can put on your map there. And then another easy one is the site entry point. So this is just going to be a blue star, and this is why it was important to have the road access on your map. So you just put a star right where people are going to come in. Again, like on this one, you can see that there's two different access points from the road. You can put both, or if you just have really one spot where people are coming in, you can put that as a site entry point, just to keep things simple and just to have more biosecurity, and then just have people come in that way. But that would be something that you have to put a sign up saying that this is where you're entering from and that they wouldn't be allowed to enter from any other points. So you can just put a blue star where people come in from the road. And then we're gonna switch back to yellow, and this is the vehicle movement. So this is where people are coming from the road to the parking areas. So that's just a straight yellow line that you can mark anywhere. We're gonna try again. This one kind of goes through the line of separation, which shouldn't happen, but like we said, sometimes it does have to happen just based on how the farms are set up. But ideally, we're trying to keep everything outside of that line of separation. Okay. And then the next one is going to be the carcass disposal site. So a big answer I got from a lot of small producers and a lot of people that show pigs is that we don't have any dead pigs. That's really great, and I'm really happy if that's your situation, that you don't have any dead pigs. So we're just going to look at, in the event if you had pigs that died on your farm, where would you bury them? Where are we taking them to? Ideally, again, it's outside of the line of separation, just so we're not having that kind of disposal site inside. But again, if that's the best place and that's where you do put pigs, we can keep it there. But we're going to try to have it outside of the line of separation. If you have someone coming to pick up pigs and you have that kind of already scheduled out, then you're going to put the carcass disposal site up here by the road. And then that'll just kind of indicate that someone picks them up. And then the last thing that we're going to do is the carcass removal pathways. So these ones have to come out of the line of separation access point and the perimeter buffer area access point. So these arrows need to be coming out of the yellow and the purple lines. And this is when we said that if you have a line of separation and you have it on the back side, then we can put a different access point back there and we can have carcasses go out from there. And then you're just making a line. So you see these lines kind of come out to this blue line, and that goes to the carcass disposal site. It looks like this one should be on the outside, which does also get a little close to the waste manure pit, which kind of gets a little sketchy with biosecurity, but that's where they keep it. So ideally you have it away from water supplies too, of things like that that could harm environmental aspects of this. But again, we're putting this where you have it and where you think that it's going to be the most useful on your farm. So yeah, just arrows out from your barns, and then a long arrow saying the path that you'll take to the carcass disposal site. Okay. And then we have one last site that we're going to put onto this map, and this is called the clean and disinfection station. So this is where we are going to clean and disinfect all the cars, all the trailers, or anything that comes onto the farm. So we have this one right here before they go into the perimeter buffer area. Again, ideally, we want this outside of the perimeter buffer area. We've had put a couple inside just because they have no other water access, and it would be hard for them to get kind of a bucket outside of there. So wherever your water access is going to be kind of where we determine where this goes. Again, try to keep it outside of the line of separation, but we can work with it inside. And this is where, like I said, we're going to wash off all the cars before they come in, and also making sure that we wash them off kind of as they leave. So they said in the biosecurity that is keeping germs from coming in, and it's also keeping germs from going out. So that's where we use the water there too. And then after that, then your map should be all done. And do you have any questions, Catherine? Did I lose you anywhere? It's a lot of alphabet soup that I've learned, so. After that, I'll put in the website if you want to go to secureporksupply.org and download that biosecurity. If you also, I'll type in my email address if you want, if you're a smaller producer, like you have show pigs and things like that, and you don't think that that one is going to be, yeah, it's a lot to take in. If you think the Secure Pork Supply plan from the website is going to be too much for you, it just doesn't suit your farm as well, you can email me and I can give you the smaller version that we did with kind of show producers this summer. Yeah, no problem. And then I also think that that is it for this session, and then